Fixed or growth? How your mindset shapes every part of your life by René. Why is it that in one part of life you show up with confidence, clarity, and control, and in another you feel completely stuck? You might be the calm problem solver in a crisis at work, only to find yourself spinning when conflict arises at home. The same person, two very different responses. It's not just about what you can do, it's about what you believe you can become. And those beliefs, your mindsets, shift more than you think. In this piece, we'll explore why we react differently in different areas of life, how fixed and growth mindsets play out in high-stakes situations, and why mindset isn't just a label, it's a lens. At work, you're calm under pressure. A last-minute request, a sudden change in direction. You jump into action, troubleshoot with confidence, and move forward. But at home, things feel different. Your teenage daughter slams the door after a heated argument, and suddenly that composed version of yourself disappears. You feel stuck, disconnected, powerless. Why is it that in some areas of life, we step up with clarity and strength, while in others we shut down? Becoming is better than being, writes Carol Dweck. It's not about competence, it's about mindset. And more importantly, how that mindset shifts depending on the context, the emotional stakes, and the stories we've come to believe about ourselves. Mindsets, the beliefs that shape us. Mindsets are the beliefs we carry about our abilities, our intelligence, and our capacity to grow. They quietly shape the way we respond to challenges, feedback, and change. A fixed mindset says, "This is just how I am." It sees abilities as static. You either have it or you don't. With this mindset, failure feels personal, feedback feels threatening, and uncertainty feels risky. A growth mindset says, "I can get better at this." It sees ability as something that develops over time. Failure becomes part of the process. Feedback becomes a guide, and challenge becomes an opportunity. But here's the nuance. You don't just have one mindset. You might be curious and open at work and rigid and defensive at home. You might embrace feedback from a coach, but bristle when your partner suggests something. These mindset shifts happen all the time, and they often go unnoticed. First insight. The mindset we bring into a moment isn't permanent. It's shaped by confidence, past experiences, emotions, and risk. Why the same person can react so differently? You're the same person in both places. So why do you respond with confidence at work and defeat at home? Because mindset is situational, and it's deeply influenced by emotional safety. Let's look at Elena. She's a senior executive at a global company. At work, she's known for her resilience and creativity. When a major project goes off track, she jumps in. "Let's figure this out." Her team feels her energy and follows her lead. She's confident, flexible, and focused. But at home, it's another story. Her teenage son has been distant for months. When her husband suggests family therapy, she snaps, "This won't work." Why the switch? Because at home, it's not about professional performance. It's about emotional exposure. Past attempts to reconnect have failed. There's hurt, frustration, exhaustion. So instead of leaning in, Elena retreats. That's not about logic, it's about mindset. And the mindset is shaped by the weight of past disappointments and the fear of more pain. Second insight, confidence often fuels a growth mindset. Vulnerability can trigger a fixed one. Fixed mindsets aren't always bad. We often think of a fixed mindset as something to overcome, but sometimes holding firm can be a strength. There are moments in life where stability, conviction, and consistency matter more than adaptability. Take an executive who refuses to compromise on ethics, even when under pressure. Their unshakable stance builds trust. Or a family who preserves cultural or spiritual traditions across generations. These beliefs may not change, but they provide continuity and a sense of belonging. Or think of a surgeon, a pilot, or an engineer. In high-stakes professions, a fixed mindset about protocols and procedures can save lives. Deviating isn't about growth, it's about risk. Even on a personal level, someone who holds a firm belief like, I don't drink isn't being rigid. They're protecting something. That line in the sand becomes a source of strength. Third insight, a fixed mindset can provide structure, identity, and safety when values, ethics, or health are at stake. The athlete's split-screen moment. Now meet Santiago. He's a rising star on his national rugby team. Years of practice and sacrifice have earned him a spot, but that spotlight brings pressure. One day during a team review, his coach calls out a weakness in his passing game in front of everyone. Version 1, Santiago shuts down. This is just how I play. He feels humiliated. Critique becomes personal. Instead of working on it, he avoids it. His game stagnates. Version 2, Santiago takes a breath. It stings, but he hears the coach out. He stays late after practice, watches tape, asks teammates for help. Slowly, his passes sharpen. His confidence grows. Same player, same feedback, very different response. Fourth insight, feedback is a mirror. What we see in it depends on our beliefs, not just about our skills, but about ourselves. Mindsets are contextual, emotional, and often invisible. The way we respond to feedback, challenge, or uncertainty isn't fixed. It changes depending on who we're with, how safe we feel, what we've experienced before, what we believe is at stake. That's why you might feel energized by feedback at work, but triggered by it in your marriage, or why you can mentor others through failure, but feel paralyzed by your own. These aren't contradictions, they're patterns worth noticing. Fifth insight, the mindset you show up with often reveals how emotionally invested you are in the outcome and how safe you feel to fail. Instead of fixing your mindset, get curious about it. When you feel stuck or reactive, ask, where does this mindset show up most? What's it trying to protect? What stories am I telling myself about failure, feedback, or worth? And what would change if I believed I could grow here? Sometimes a fixed mindset shows us where we're hurting. Sometimes it shows us where we need boundaries. Either way, it has something to say, if we're willing to listen. Sixth insight, mindset isn't just a cognitive pattern. It's a story about safety, risk, identity, and what we believe we're capable of. The takeaway, Elena's and Santiago's stories show us that mindset isn't a personality trait. It's a response. It shifts with context, emotion, and meaning. A growth mindset helps us embrace change. A fixed mindset helps us hold the line. Both can serve us, but only when we know which one we're operating from and why. So instead of asking, how do I fix my fixed mindset? Try asking, what's my mindset telling me about how I see myself in this moment and what I'm ready to shift? That's where real growth begins. Thanks for listening. Please visit www.renesonnevel.com for more information or to contact René. See you next time.